How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out, means a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. Not just Choujin X, we cover a variety of manga on the channel. So go check that out. And anyway, getting into what we actually want to be here for, we got chapter 9 today. So it's a great day. It's more Choujin X. These chapters come out of nowhere sometimes, even though every once in a while I see that the manuscript has been finished. So I'm like, okay, it's going to come out soon, but I don't know when. Anyway, Tokyo is watching the baseball game for Suru High, where he goes to school. I'm assuming they're in the playoffs for like nationals or something, whatever. Anyway, obviously Azuma is on the team, and Azuma tries to get a comeback, but they end up losing. So after the loss, we have our tentacle guy and our paper cutout lady from last time, and they're talking over the game, and eventually they end up mentioning that if Suru High had their ace pitcher from last year, Shiozaki, things might have been a little bit different and they might have won. They say he had a crazy ace pitch that was a high-speed sinker that just got strikeout after strikeout after strikeout. They also said that he transformed into a Choujin during the middle of last year's tournament. And then we fully get introduced to Tezuya Shiozaki. So two things that I think are really important to pay attention to here are the high-speed sinker and the fact that he turned into a Choujin in the middle of last year's tournament. So the high-speed sinker thing. So Tezuya Shiozaki, he was this pitching star, probably going to go on to play in the pros, make good money, be a popular person, all of this stuff, famous, rich, gets to play baseball for a living, obviously something he enjoyed doing. You know, we're on the fast track to having a good life. All of a sudden, in the middle of this tournament where we're probably just heating up the whole time, just going in, and now we can't play baseball anymore because Choujin can't play baseball with normal people. It's not fair. Powers come out, cheating. So, anyway, in the middle of this tournament, on the fast track to success, can't play anymore. Now we are a high-speed sinker going from the fast track to success to the fast track to rock bottom, committing theft, all of these other things, probably just turning into a generally bad or worse person. Tezuya Shiozaki as a person is a high-speed sinker, now that he can't play baseball anymore and doesn't have that path open to him in life. We're not just talking about his pitch, we're talking about him as a person. And also, when we get the page of actually introduced to him and his age and all this other stuff, we also see him looking up at the sky and seeing birds fly through the sky. So he probably not only wants to be free to make his own choices and do his own things, like, you know, play baseball, what he loves to do, but also Tokyo being a vulture Choujin, which is a bird. Birds, looking at the main character, you know, there you go. Yeah, okay. So now we can move on with the rest of the chapter. So now we end up getting bounty posters for our paper cutout Choujin girl, which we actually figure out she is a paper cutout Choujin. So these powers can also get kind of wild, kind of like devil fruit, at least what it makes me think of. So yeah, devil fruits, bounty posters. I got a bunch of One Piece loving stuff that I can equate in this chapter. I like it. It's fun. Anyway, so we find out the lady's name is Ririka Umezawa, or I'm not even going to try and pronounce it in a more properly, no. Anyway, the other dude's name is Richard, or Ricardo. I'm going to go with Ricardo. Richard just sounds like, he doesn't even get a second name, just Richard. That's it. So, okay, yeah. And they say he's probably a tentacle Choujin. I was thinking octopus Choujin specifically, but maybe it's tentacles specifically. Who knows? Yeah, they're probably more on the money than I am. Tokyo is being told this by a guy named Ichiro Sato. We end up figuring that out after he leaves with Shiozaki to do his eval, and then Tokyo and Ellie go with the dude from last time. I can't remember his name. The guy with the swords that he stabbed the snake girl in the head. Yeah, that guy. They go with that guy and they watch another informational video they're just studying to be a Choujin and get their certificate or card or badge or whatever that allows them to use their powers and not immediately get insta-judged. So Shiozaki ends up putting on a good face for the eval. He seems really nice, says he doesn't even think about baseball anymore, all of this other stuff. Obviously, he's not a big fan of it. He even mentions that he doesn't like that guy. Seems like he's always looking down on him. He ends up running into Tokyo at the bus stop waiting to go home. They share a couple words about being from Suru High and then say literally nothing else. So yeah. Anyway, we get to see Shiozaki's home, and it's not a great place. He looks like he basically lives in an abandoned warehouse or an industrial area or something. There's like gates with barbed wire right outside his home, and yeah, so he has two little siblings, and he sees them sleeping, and we actually see him smile for a little bit. After this, a car pulls up, hollers at him, he goes down to get in, and this took me a second to figure out what exactly all is going on here. I don't know if my brain just went out for a second or what, but anyway, we got it all figured out after I just stared at the screen for a second. And yeah, these guys picked up Shiozaki. They then went to the bank, put on these 5 rabbit masks, so there's probably 4 guys in the car. They went, picked him up, he gets in, they go to the bank, rob it. Then the next day, we see on the news from Tokyo's perspective that this bank has been robbed, and they think somebody drilled through the floor. So yeah, I am saying that Shiozaki is a drill Choujin. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. That's where I'm going right off the bat. He's living a secret life as a bank robber with these 4 other people. They came, picked him up, did that, yada yada. You can also kind of relate being a drill Choujin to being a pitcher in baseball, throwing the ball right down the plate, drilling it down there really fast, just straight through. You can kind of make that relation there. So yeah, and the fact that all of this stuff happened in sequence right in a row. He went home, saw that he was in a bad situation, obviously doesn't have a lot of money, was probably looking forward to getting into the pros, playing baseball and making money that way to support himself and his siblings, more importantly. Now that that is not an option to him, he is probably sinking very quickly, going into a life of crime, robbing stuff, using his Choujin powers in secret while keeping a good face for the evals. Everybody follow that? I'm pretty sure that's what Suiisha is just laying out for us in this chapter. So yeah, I'm curious to see exactly where this is going to go. Tokyo, during his interview with Sandak and when Ellie was there, he said doing things to hurt others or causing other people's problems was bad, evil, not okay. So obviously, Tokyo would take exception to these things that Shiozaki is doing. And Ellie, we get referenced more in this chapter, has that dream about being rich because it would help her family and the people around her, help them be happier, have easier lives, and that would make her happy. So Ellie will probably be able to relate to Shiozaki wanting money to help his siblings so they can be happy, but stealing the money from a bank and from other people, Ellie would be probably against this. So yeah, plenty of stuff for Ellie and Tokyo to bounce off of if we end up getting interactions between the 3 of them. But Ellie and Tokyo are now going through more classes, more videos, talking about if a guy with a Choujin power accidentally hurts somebody by getting upset, and his Choujin power accidentally going off, he could be tried as a human, he could be tried as a Choujin, or he could be tried by both sets of laws. So yeah, sucks to be a Choujin. After all this is said and over, Ellie asks Tokyo if he can teach her how to use the phone. He does. And then after all this is over, they end up talking more about Tokyo's dreams, and he still says, yeah, I really don't think I have any dreams, but I want to try and find some, or find out what my dreams might be. Maybe I just haven't found out what they are yet. Ellie ends up asking him, like, well, talking about finding stuff, do you want to help me go find something? Then to bring the chapter to a close and wrap it all up, we go back to Shiozaki one more time. He stumbles across one of those little cutout doll dog things from the paper cutout Choujin girl. He picks it up, gets that kind of zing, that little zap that a Choujin gets from feeling another Choujin's powers activate nearby. We learned that a couple chapters ago. So yeah, him picking that up, and that probably activated the power, so something's gonna be something with the cutout girl and him, and I don't know. Anyway, he takes a coin out, and he wants to buy something out of a vending machine. Well, it only takes these cash cards. Him, we now know, is in a very low economic situation, broke as hell, and got no money, kind of a lot like Ellie. Ellie did not have a card. One, you can't even use them in Gaga, the prefecture where she is from, but probably doesn't have enough money to afford a card, to put money on it and all this stuff to use it to make it worth it. This guy is in the same situation. So he throws the coin away. Once again, we're bringing up all this economic stuff and robbing banks to get money. This guy's involved with the bunny mask. Yeah. He ends up just saying screw it and uses his Choujin powers just to get a free soda. Tokyo and Ellie end up seeing him do this. And he pops the soda and notices them and just has this look on his face of, oh man, really? What? Okay, fine. So I'm assuming we're going to start off next time with him looking at the two of them like, I swear to God, if you guys turn me in over getting a soda, I swear to God. So yeah, I don't know how this interaction is going to go, but we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I think it's very clear that we're seeing the fact that, one, Shiozaki doesn't have a problem with using his Choujin powers to get what he wants. He wants money to have a better life for him and his siblings. He will use his powers to rob a bank to get more money. He is a high-speed sinker after being on the fast track to getting into the pros for baseball, and now is sinking into this life of robbing banks for money, all this blah, 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 blah. All this good stuff. I think this was an extremely well done chapter for the fact that almost all of these things can really be missed. I'm sure there are plenty of people who read through this chapter and enjoyed it in their own right for their own things, but all of these things, these little tiny threads almost behind the scenes yet right in your face, all connect to show you a very vivid and clear picture of the type of person Shiozaki is right now, and what is happening to him in his life, and the turn that it has taken ever since he has become a Choujin. This can also relate back to the fact that we were really hammering in lately in these last few chapters, being a Choujin isn't just fun and games. In fact, it kind of sucks. The only upside is you get a cool power. If your power is even cool. Some Choujin powers probably aren't that cool. So yeah, if you get a cool power, great, you have a cool power. You're not even really allowed to use it. Being a Choujin kind of just sucks. And I think Shiozaki's really going to hammer that in, but at the same time, he's still doing things that we can't just allow you to do. Ellie and Tokyo, being main characters of manga, can't just allow you to keep on doing this stuff and robbing banks and all this other crap. So yeah, I think this chapter was super well done from a writing standpoint and how things were done in order and the way they were done. Phenomenal job. Absolutely wonderful job. So yeah, great on that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the chapter, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.